There are truths about life that no one wants to hear, because once you hear them, you can't unhear them. They hit you in the chest, they shatter your illusions. But if you're brave enough to face them, they'll break the version of you that was never meant to last. Let's begin. We like to lie to ourselves. The moment where it all feels perfect doesn't exist. Waiting is just fear wearing a nice outfit. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, and time doesn't care that you're scared. One excuse turns into a lifetime. Jasmine had the gear, had the vision, but always said, "Soon. I just need to fix my audio." 2 years passed. Nothing launched. She watched creators blow up. The only time is now. If you keep waiting for fear to go away, you'll die waiting. So ask yourself, what have you been putting off for months, maybe years, that you know you were born to do? And how many more excuses will you let pass before you admit it's just fear with a better outfit? When you level up your life, you don't just lose comfort, you lose people. Friends who celebrated you when you were small disappear when you dream bigger than them. When I stopped drinking every weekend, they stopped calling. But here's the truth, they didn't like me, they liked the version of me that kept them comfortable. You're not lonely because you're broken, you're lonely because you're evolving. The path to your next level is supposed to feel lonely, but stay on it. Real ones will meet you there. Think about the friends you hang with now. Are they helping you rise or keeping you small? If someone came to mind just now, that's not guilt. That's your growth whispering through the noise. They did hurt you. Maybe they yelled, maybe they ignored you, maybe they tried but still failed. You didn't ask for that, you didn't deserve it, but now you're an adult, still trying to heal from a war you didn't start. I used to blame my mom for everything, how I couldn't trust people, how I always over-explained myself, how I was never enough. And part of that was true, but eventually I realized I was stuck in a loop, still waiting for an apology that might never come, so I gave myself one. Forgiveness isn't about saying it was okay, it's about choosing not to carry the pain anymore. Blame is a prison. You may never get the apology you deserved. So the real question is, will you let their silence keep you stuck? Or will you be the one who breaks the cycle, even if it breaks your heart to do it? At some point, you realize not everything is about you. Someone doesn't text back. You think they're mad. Someone unfollows you. You think you did something wrong. But most people aren't thinking about you. I once had a friend go completely silent on me. I panicked, replayed every word I ever said, thought I ruined everything. Weeks later, they reached out. Their mom had died. I realized how much time I waste assuming the worst. Maturity is when someone hurts you and you pause instead of explode. You realize they're fighting a battle you can't see, so you don't let their fire become yours. Who are you taking personally right now? That comment, that silence, that look? What if it had nothing to do with you, and everything to do with the storm they're trapped in? If you knew they were hurting, would you still carry their pain like it was yours? They hand you just enough money to make you forget what your life could have been. And they dress it up. Benefits, security, promotion talk. But slowly, your spark dims. You say, "I'll quit next year." Then it becomes 5. I once knew a guy who wanted to start a creative agency, but rent was due every month. So he took a 9-to-5 in marketing just for now. 3 years later, that logo sketch still pinned to his wall. That's how the system works. A steady paycheck can be the most dangerous addiction because it keeps you from risking everything for everything. It's not security, it's sedation. What dream did you abandon the moment life got comfortable? Was it the podcast, the YouTube channel, the brand, the book? And here's the real question. Was it your comfort you chose, or your cage? They scream, you shrink. They disappear, you panic. You keep saying, "It's not always bad." That's not love, that's survival. I once dated someone who made me feel like I was always wrong. Every joke was a jab, every silence felt like punishment. But I stayed because I thought that was love. It wasn't love, it was fear. I was scared to be alone. And healing didn't begin until I chose solitude over survival. Loneliness isn't the fear, it's the doorway. It's where you meet the parts of yourself they tried to erase. Leave, and the loneliness will hurt. Stay, and it'll destroy you slowly. If you weren't scared of being alone, would you still be with them? What if the pain you're running from is the very silence you need to finally heal? And what would happen if you chose yourself, even if it meant walking away empty-handed?
You keep saying you're tired, but you slept 8 hours. You didn't run a marathon. You didn't fight a war. It's not your body that's tired. It's your soul. You were built to create, but you're stuck consuming. You were made to move, but you're sitting through meetings that drain every drop of spirit. They'll sell you weekend getaways, like you can fix a spiritual crisis with 2 days at a beach. You don't need rest. You need realignment. The most exhausting thing is pretending to be someone you're not. Is it your job that's draining you, or the mask you wear to keep it? And how long will you keep calling that voice exhaustion instead of the truth? You're not broken. You were just handed a life that made you forget your power. Every time you stayed silent to keep the peace, you learned to shrink, to play small, but not anymore. The limits were inherited. The shame was never yours. The cage wasn't locked. You just never thought to push. No one's coming, but no one needs to. The old version of you kept you alive, but the new one, it's not here to survive. It's here to rise.